Should the ordinary Belizean people be concerned that this new proposed law is on the way?
Not at all, not at all. As I said, there are built-in safeguards that ought to make very clear that the law-abiding citizen has absolutely no cause for concern. The Director of Public Prosecutions would have to apply to court for an order to allow or to enable this intercept of communications, and would have to do so only on the basis of offering detailed justification to the judge that the person whose communication it is sought to intercept is engaged in criminal activity or is likely to be engaging in criminal activity. And it is not on the basis of any supposition or speculation on the part of the Commissioner of Police or the DPP, through whom the Commissioner must apply to the Supreme Court. Facts must be put before the judge to justify the grant of such an order. I also indicated that even after the order is made, the judge has to keep the matter under constant review, require periodic reports from the Director of Public Prosecutions, and at any time the judge feels that the order is perhaps resulting in any kind of oppression against the citizen or is not securing the objectives for which the order was made, he withdraws the order. So I recognize that no matter how you look at it, this does represent a departure. We've not had, well, we do have something to this effect already in the law, but it is not as ample as what we're doing now. And therefore, in a democracy, it is right that people look at it carefully, scrutinize it closely, and let the debate begin. But I'm also completely convinced, Patrick, that given the current climate, this is an indispensable crime-fighting tool. It's being done all over the world and certainly close to home. Jamaica, several CARICOM states have introduced this kind of legislation because we're all being swamped by this wave of violent crime. You can't stand by, you can't not employ any measure that you feel and that has been shown in other societies can be helpful. So I make no apologies for the introduction of this bill. I do repeat that I will welcome the scrutiny. Surely when it is brought back for second reading and for passage, it will not be in the same form. I expect that as a consequence of public input, of public representation to the House Committee, there will be changes. But I hope and believe that the essence of the bill, the core of the bill, will be preserved because I think, as I said, that it is going to be an indispensable crime-fighting tool.
With the current breakdown in public confidence in the police department, could that be a hindrance to the support that would have been likely to have been gotten? And could there be casualties of this where innocent people will have their communications intercepted?
I don't think so, because remember that the police do not decide that an order is necessary and then give themselves the authority. They're not able to issue their own order. It must first go to the DPP, who will not even put up a case to the Supreme Court unless she is satisfied that the justification is there. And then there's that second and all-important layer, that the judge must be convinced that the order is absolutely essential before he will grant the application. So I really don't see that any regular law-abiding citizen has anything to fear. And there is already provision a little bit more limited than this in the law, which people don't generally know of. I much prefer to put this thing out there to the public, do this bill that everybody can go through so that they know exactly what's involved, what the extent and what the limitations are on the power that's going to be given to the Supreme Court. Because that ought to help to allay any fear that this is a kind of Big Brother scenario, or this is a kind of secret state intervention scenario. We're putting it out there. We're asking the society to look at it and to agree that precisely because law-abiding citizens have nothing to fear, but also because it will, without a doubt, assist in the crime-fighting efforts and enable us to move more effectively against those that are engaging in acts of criminal behavior. I want to think that people will come on board.